Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The City Manager's Office has appointed Dr. Danielle Harrison to serve as the Interim Executive Director of Guilford Works, which is the Guilford County Workforce Development Board. Former Executive Director Chris Rivera was appointed to the role in 2019. He is now Vice President for Business Solutions at South Piedmont Community College near Charlotte. Having served as the Deputy Director since 2020, Harrison will now provide executive and administrative leadership. Additionally, she will continue implementing the Workforce Development Board's mission, vision, and strategies, including the promotion and support for the board's advancement of economic development and workforce strategies and programs. Dr. Harrison's extensive background makes her a natural fit to make the transition to Interim Executive Director, said Assistant City Manager Nasha McCray. She has more than 16 years of experience in workforce and people development, including managing education programs, vocational training, and employment contracts for adult offenders. I welcome the energy and leadership Dr. Harrison brings to the role. Harrison began her career working for the North Carolina Department of Public Safety and has taught career-oriented curricula at both Davidson Community College and Virginia College. As a praxis facilitator and coordinator of field and clinical work experiences at North Carolina A&T State University, Dr. Harrison worked with future K-12 educators. She trained hundreds of staff as a Health and Human Services Training Manager and served as the Work-Based Learning Coordinator at Guilford Technical College. The Greensboro Police Department will receive funds from the Support Team Assisted Response, or STAR grant, through the North Carolina House Bill 802. This money enables GPD's Behavioral Health Response Team to add an EMS component. Billy Silvera, community health paramedic with Guilford County Emergency Medical Services Division, has joined the team. Silvera has an extensive work history serving patients with behavioral health and developmental disabilities and has worked as a paramedic since 2014. With the new BHeart STAR program, an officer, licensed clinician, and paramedic now respond together in one vehicle to calls where a mental health component may be present. GPD's BHeart officially began in January of 2021, and since then the team has answered approximately 4,000 calls for service. While BHeart is available to respond to individuals experiencing a crisis, the officers, clinicians, and paramedic also have the responsibility of follow-up and coordinated services. It is the goal of the BHeart STAR program to provide comprehensive support through this three-pronged approach. The Water Resources Department has temporarily switched the western part of the city from its chloramine-treated water to Winston-Salem's free chlorination water. Both treatments are considered standard disinfectants in drinking water. The switch is due to Greensboro's storage tank maintenance and will be in effect until mid-November. The area affected is western Greensboro near the Piedmont Triad International Airport, along Regional and Swing Roads extending west to the county line at Colfax. During this time, some customers may notice a temporary difference in the water's taste or smell. This is normal and does not adversely impact the water quality. Both chlorinated and chloraminated water are safe for drinking, cooking, and other general uses. Specialized industries such as medical facilities offering kidney dialysis, fish tanks and pond owners, and some businesses that use water in their production process should take precautions and may require adjustments to their current filtration and treatment systems. These customers are being contacted directly. For more information, call the Environmental Protection Agency Safe Drinking Water Hotline toll-free at 1-800-426-4791. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
How well do you really understand food labels? It's an important step in making healthy choices. Let's talk about what you should look for. The first thing you should look at in a nutrition food label is the serving size, because that's going to differ from the portion size. The nutrition serving size is based off of one serving of that food and beverage. You may eat more than one serving, and you'll have to account for that on the facts label as far as total calories, fat, all of those things. So the percent daily value, or capital D, capital V on the foods label, is going to be a guide for you as far as how much of one nutrient you should get per day. And that's based off a percentage out of 2,000 calories a day, which you may need more or less of, depending on your stature, activity level, things like that. As an example, if a food label has 5% daily value, that's going to be 5% of your needs of that nutrient per day. So when you're looking at the total fat in a product, you'd also want to go underneath that and look at the breakdown of the fat. So trans fat, saturated fat, and unsaturated fat. For saturated fat, or fats that are solid at room temperature, you'd really want to look to limit those, or again, have no more than 5% of your daily value for those foods. For trans fats, I'd really recommend avoiding foods that have trans fats. They're man-made, they're not natural, and really not something that you'd want to consume on a regular basis, whereas unsaturated fats are your healthy fats, and those are things that are helpful for your joints, for your brain health, and those are liquid at room temperature. So when you're looking for sugars on the nutrition fact label, you really want to focus in on those added sugars, because those added sugars are what you'd really want to limit or avoid. That doesn't provide any nutritional value in your diet, but does add up as far as your daily caloric allotment pretty quickly. You should definitely be looking at vitamins, minerals, and fiber that's listed on the facts label. Getting a variety of those types of nutrients is all really important for daily functioning, and also preventing illnesses, for anemia, osteoporosis, all those things you hear about that you get later in life. For daily fiber requirements, for adult males it should be somewhere around 37 grams per day, and adult females somewhere around 25 grams per day. And you can find those in any fruits, vegetables, or whole grains. And eating a variety of those foods, eating foods with color, making your plate colorful is all a really great way to make sure you're getting that variety. Thanks for joining me today. I hope this information has been helpful. If you're interested in more information, go to conehealth.com/healthy-eating. I'm Lisa Balestrino.
The City of Greensboro is working toward mitigating the household hazards caused by lead paint, and the green in Greensboro takes on a whole new meaning this Veterans Day. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The Housing and Neighborhood Development Department is recognizing National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week today through October 29th. Staff is raising awareness and educating residents about how the Lead Safe Greensboro program can assist those who qualify. Housing and Neighborhood Development staff are available to speak with your community group or organization, either virtually or in person. They discuss topics such as grants available to address residential lead paint hazards and arranging for contractors to provide lead hazard reduction services. Homeowners and landlords may qualify for a city grant for lead hazard assistance if the property was built before 1978 and is located within Greensboro city limits. If you are a low to moderate income homeowner or renter, and if a pregnant woman lives in the home or a child younger than 6 lives in or frequently visits the home. To schedule a Lead Safe Greensboro presentation for your group, call Nicole Jordan, the city's Lead Safe program assistant, at 336-373-2383. To determine if you or someone you know qualifies for one of these grants, please visit the city's website. The Ad Hoc Committee on African American Disparity will meet virtually at 6 p.m. on Thursday, October 27th, to discuss environmental justice. North Carolina A&T State University professor Dr. Emmanuel Oben-Giyasi and former Guilford County Schools educator Cecilia Shaw are the featured speakers. The public is invited to join the committee as it considers the industrial impact of businesses on neighborhoods. The Zoom meeting is the second part of the group's Environmental Justice Series, which discusses environmental disparities within local communities, how to support them, and potential solutions. The meeting can be accessed by entering meeting ID 915-1305-6243 or calling in by dialing 301-715-8592. The Ad Hoc Committee on African American Disparity seeks to address barriers that prevent the success of Greensboro's African American residents. The committee researches policies and procedures, obtains community feedback, and makes recommendations to the City Council about ways to improve access to resources for the city's African American population. To learn more about the Commission, visit the city's website or contact Commission Administrator Liz Lennon at 336-373-2038. Guilford County is spearheading Operation Greenlight by lighting buildings, entryways, and windows in green to show support for veterans of all military conflicts and to raise awareness about the unique challenges faced by many veterans and their families. From November 7th through 13th, Guilford County buildings in Greensboro and High Point will be glowing green each night. You can support the effort by changing one light bulb to a green bulb or illuminating businesses and homes in green. It can be an exterior light or an interior light for the community to see. The green light lets veterans know they are seen, appreciated, and supported. Green light bulbs are available through Amazon or at Lowe's home improvement stores. Each year, Guilford County serves some 29,000 veterans through its Veteran Service Office and other county agencies. The Guilford County Veteran Service Office offers a wide variety of resources for veterans and their families and is part of a nationwide network of programs at the county, state, and federal level specifically designated to assist veterans and their families. By shining the green light at work and in our homes, we're expressing our profound gratitude for the sacrifices and contributions our veterans and their families made on the battlefield and at home. Join the campaign on Veterans Day and share your photos on social media using the hashtag #GuilfordGlowsGreen. Greensboro City Manager is inching closer to being on the job for 1 year. He's making strides and significant changes. Coming up after the break, we'll talk to City Manager Ty Jayoba about his short and long-term goals. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Implementing a new budget, making changes to the organizational structure, and focusing on making Greensboro the most desirable mid-sized city has kept the man in charge of running the city on the go. Joining me now to talk about and walk us through his short and long-term goals is Greensboro City Manager Ty Jayoba. Hello, Ty. Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Glad to have you back. It's hard to believe you've been with us now for 9 months.
Amazing.
It is amazing, and I'm just curious, what have you accomplished in your short-term goals that you're most proud of?
We've accomplished a number of things. I would say first on that list is how we've supported our employees in terms of their compensation, and also how we've added additional positions to some of our departments. For example, 15 new firefighters. Yes. We also added about 5 plan reviewers. We also added a number of staff in the city manager's office, but also to support our Minority Women Business Enterprise program. But I'm also proud of the work that we've done preparing ourselves for the future when it comes to $1 million that council adopted for the gateway corridors.
Yes.
To really uplift some of those corridors that lead into our downtown and the residents and businesses who live along those corridors. We also put some infrastructure funding towards the maintenance of our swimming pools, so that next summer we don't have a situation where pools are closing down and things of that nature. I will say that I'm proud of our community that we came out to support the $135 million bond referendum that will support housing, public safety, economic development, and just a really good feel that over the last 9 months we've come a long way, and yet it's been short.
Now, what has surprised you the most about Greensboro now that you've had the opportunity to see the lay of the land, so to speak?
There's a number of things I will say that have surprised me, but one of the things that surprised me the most is the abundance of opportunities for outdoor recreation. It doesn't, if you are somebody who loves to recreate on water or someone who loves to recreate on trails or parks. There's just an abundance of it. Or if you go to the science center, I mean, there's just so many places in this city where you can actually, regardless of your age.
Yes.
Another surprise for me is the abundance of land opportunities that we have for development, and not just outside, but within, in terms of infill. So many places where we really need to maximize what we have today and still be able to take advantage of the services that are provided to support those communities. So those have been two major surprises to me now that I've been here.
And those are pleasant surprises.
They are pleasant surprises, yes.
Now, in respect to law enforcement, of course, we have a chief of police position that you're currently seeking to fill. Is the search on schedule, and how has the community engagement been?
I would say, first of all, thanks to Chief James, who gave me a very good few months, and we're still good friends even now. And then thanks to Chief Beefle, interim police chief, for stepping in at the time we needed it so much. But now we are moving forward, and we are on schedule to getting a new police chief here, hopefully by January of 2023. Okay. So we've done a number of community engagement. I wish that we've engaged more, but the process is not done. We continue to engage, and I really believe that we've received a number of input from the community. We want more. Okay. And so in the next few weeks, community members will be hearing from us how we're tracking on this particular path to getting a new police chief for our city.
Okay, new year, new chief.
New year, new chief.
Now, tell us about the new position for Director of Public Transit and your vision for this role.
Part of the budget that Council adopted back in June 2022 included the creation of a new department of public transit. And when you create a new department, you want to have somebody to lead that department. So about a week ago, we announced a new position for Director of Public Transit. The goal there is, let's re-envision the way we do public transit in our city. As a city grows, you want to make sure that your transit system has better frequencies, so people don't have to wait for too long between bus transfers. And not only that, your buses don't all have to come downtown. They can just go cross town to where people want to go. We need to re-envision how services are provided, but we also need to re-envision how our bus shelters even look to attractive, not just a sign on a stick in the middle of nowhere. They've got to be something attractive enough as a growing city. But I also want us to think beyond the bus. While the bus is what's going to carry most people today, when people come to invest in our city, especially new businesses, they're looking for a degree of permanence. For a bus, you can easily take it and plug it somewhere. But if you have a trolley system, it's difficult for you to just pull it up and put it somewhere else. And so economic development looks to us looking at our buses, improving the system, but also can we look beyond it and introduce other modes of transit. So I'm hopeful that a new transit director is somebody who is very visionary, but at the same time very pragmatic, and can deliver on some of these things to our residents.
And that's, again, speaks to our growth and future growth.
Yes.
Now, you're interested in uplifting young people in Greensboro. How are you engaging that demographic? Very
much so. We have about 70,000 students, or at least young people in our city that are either attending one of our 7 colleges or they are here to work. I'm making sure that we continue to put the spotlight on our young people, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that make our city vibrant, creating a cool factor, so to speak. One of our goals and what I envision is that in the next year, early next year, we're going to have a summit for young people in Greensboro that will really create these opportunities for them, a conversation around how do you want to engage me and how do you want me to remain in Greensboro upon graduation, or at least to choose Greensboro and make it first.
Okay, well, speaking of dialogue and that community touch points, your Talk with Ty listening sessions were very popular when you came on board back in February. Will you be hosting those again?
Yes, I will. I promised when I first came on board and we had those Talk with Ty listening sessions that I would like to return towards the end of the year. So we will be doing that in the fall, in November. We'll be going through every council district like we did again and just listening to people, but a little bit different, because when I started, we had not adopted a budget. We still had a police chief, I would like to be able to talk about those two things. For example, what's going into our search for a chief? Where are we in the process? What does the world look like with a new transit director, for example? Can I explain what went into the adopted budget, and can I take input on what's going to happen in the next budget? So things have changed, that this listening session will be more of a question and answer session maybe,
yes.
and I really look forward to that.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to it as well. It's always a pleasure to get updates directly from the city manager.
Great.
Do come back and see us.
I appreciate that, and I definitely will.
Thank you.
All right.
Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorset Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The application window is open for the 2023 Greensboro Police Citizens Academy, which will be held from January through April of 2023. The goal of the program is to give residents greater insight into the police department in hopes of forming long-term partnerships and sharing the responsibility to make Greensboro safe for all people. Program participants learn from subject matter experts across the department and leave the program with a greater understanding of police training and a new sense of their role in supporting GPD. The Academy highlights police community relations, violent crime, recruitment, professional standards, constitutional law, traffic safety, forensics, special teams, vice narcotics, community programs, and a firearms simulator. The 2023 program will have students attending in person and a small group attending via Zoom. Virtual attendees will not be able to participate in the hands-on demonstrations. The deadline to apply to the Greensboro Police Citizens Academy is at 5 p.m. on Friday, November 4th. Program planning will adapt if COVID-19 guidelines change in our community. The safety of you and our police staff is the city's first priority. For more information or to apply for the program, visit the GPD website. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, let's see how the city of Greensboro celebrates diversity in the workplace.
Equity and inclusion are vital for the City of Greensboro's ability to grow and innovate in such a fast-changing environment. One Greensboro is a monthly show that highlights some of the ways the Office of Equity and Inclusion honors the observances listed on our heritage calendar and spotlights a City of Greensboro employee in a segment we call The One. These observances are an integral part of the National Equal Employment Opportunity and Civil Rights Program and encourage us to live as one people, one community, one Greensboro.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Congratulations to the Greensboro Planning Department, recipients of the Daniel Burnham Award for Comprehensive Plan from the American Planning Association, or APA. This is in recognition of the department's focused multi-year community engagement to produce GSO 2040, which outlines how Greensboro should develop in the next 20 years. The award highlights Greensboro as the innovative leader in comprehensive plans and as a national example of how planning and planners work to make our communities better, stronger, and more resilient. Ben Hitchings, vice chair of this year's awards jury, said GSO 2040 is a modern plan beautifully displayed online with a logical structure, well-considered strategies, and compelling presentation that reflects the voices, needs, and desires of the Greensboro community. Sue Schwartz, Greensboro's planning director, said we allowed ourselves, together with the residents of Greensboro, to think larger than life, more vivid than our imaginations, yet more attainable than many people have assumed the plan could be. I'm so proud of everyone who was part of this journey. We all share this honor. The Daniel Burnham Award honors one of America's most famous planners, known for his work on the 1909 Plan of Chicago, as well as for the quote, "Make no little plans, they have no magic, and probably themselves will not be realized." Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Greensboro Water Resources Department. The staff published its fiscal year 2021-22 annual report, which is available online. The report showcases the dedication of nearly 370 employees, a review of the department's strategic plan, things you should know about water and sewer systems, how tax dollars are spent, and a review of the department's role in the city's expansion. Readers will also see important water and sewer statistics and a list of the community programs offered by Water Resources. To view the Water Resources annual report, visit the city's website. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO, plus GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.